All right, we're headed north on Panther Hollow Road. And that's the, I guess you'd call the main entrance to Panther Hollow right there. That's the start of the easement road, which is, I guess, between tracks 1 and 2. We're gonna keep going north and check out this road that goes down to the creek, which is technically a county road, although the county has not maintained it for a couple decades. This portion's not too bad, but in a minute, you'll see what we mean. So the county has told us that they're going to come through and grade it now that it's actually being used, but we're kind of on their timeline with that, and we don't have any control over that. So make sure you're in a four-wheel drive when you come out here, or that you have a four-wheeler or side-by-side. Okay, so you can see the road curves left and goes to the neighbor's place. We're actually going to go straight. You can kind of see how the trail goes through here. Dodge these rocks. And then here we go. So this is actually the original county road. It still is a county road. It goes down the hill and crosses over Bryant Creek. Here's where we are on the map right. The little blue dot is us. So there's the road that's going to go down to the creek. On the left side of the road, you've got tract 15. On the right side, you've got tract 16. Tract 16 actually has a large kind of cleared area here. Somewhat of a level spot back there, but generally it slopes down. We think they cleared it to open up this view, because the view is spectacular. I mean, you can see for miles to the northeast there. Tract 15, you've got the open area, goes right up to the fence line. Got the neighbor on the other side. And then tract 15, which is, I believe, the biggest tract out here, or one of the biggest tracts. It's almost all wooded except for this little open area here. So if you really wanted to create a private site, you could create a trail, you know, back toward the center of it. Looking down at tract 16. So tract 16 has a very cool valley. Actually, tract 16 has the very cool little cave, and I think we have a video of that as well. We're not going to walk down there today, but it's basically just down here a couple hundred feet. Awesome little cave that we explored. We could only go back in about 15 feet, and we would have had to really crawl beyond that. So that's as far as we went. But there was a little creek coming out of it, and that creek goes down the valley, which runs through 16 and 17, and I think 18, and then empties into Bryant Creek. So again, as we're headed east on the old county road, we've got tract 15 on the left, tract 16 on the right. We'll definitely do a drone video as well, because that's a good way to see these two tracks for sure. And looking back at the map, right, that's where we are. That's going to be Bryant Creek up there. And that'll be when we get down to the base of this hillside. So on tract 15 on the left, we're seeing a couple spots where you could potentially put a driveway in coming off the road here. It certainly does rise up, so I mean, you'd have to clear out some of the smaller trees, and you'd want a four-wheel drive. But a better idea might be to start back at that meadow area drive in toward the timber, kind of along that fence line, and then cut across. I mean, you've got some level areas. Oops. I'm just gonna pause this for a second, or I guess we'll leave this running. Just wanted to walk onto track 15 at least a little bit. We could tell from the topo map that it definitely did have some level areas, or at least areas with just a very slight slope. So for instance, right here, I mean, we're a couple hundred feet off the road. And we potentially got an area that you could use for a building site or a campsite, fairly level. Kind of looks like an old trail on the property right here, actually. There is an amazing view hiding behind the leaves on these trees. You'd see it in the late fall or the winter when the leaves are off the trees. You've got just a stunning view. Now here's a fairly level area going on to track 15. You have to spend a couple hours with a chainsaw to remove some of those smaller trees, but if that were done, I mean, you could pull your truck right onto the property here. So that's nice to see. Track 16 on the right, from what we've seen so far, there's an area where on 15 where you could pull in without cutting any trees. But on 16, it does look like it drops off from the road. So far the best spots we're seeing on 16 were toward the south side, southwest side, or the south side on that easement trail. And actually the map right is showing us that we're just coming off of track 16. So we've transitioned to track 17 on the right, but still track 15 on the left all the way to the bottom. Okay, yeah. So actually on track 15, I mean, there are spots here where we are where you could pull a truck right onto the property. To get back, 100 or 200 feet, you'd have to probably clear out some of the small trees, but that's really nice to see. That's where we are here. All the trees look pretty dark because we're basically facing right into the sun. And we just found this really cool spring that was flowing across the little road. So we walked up just a little bit and found this super cool waterfall. It's really small, but it's unbelievably cool. We know there are caves around here because we have found several. Well, there's a little area right back there that goes back in, so there's no telling what's back there. Could open up into a big cave. That's awesome. There's a big rock, kind of like a miniature bluff up there. That's the kind of place you want to check out if you're looking for a cave, especially with this flowing water. Oops. Oh, cool. So there's water coming from there, and there's water coming from there. So these little springs are what make the creeks like Bryant Creek so special. It's these little freshwater springs. Oh, that's pretty neat. The water's just dripping off that rock ledge. It'd be really unlikely that there's not some kind of cave on Tract 15. I mean, to see these kind of rock features. But it is a big property, so you'd have to take some time to explore it. That is just awesome. Okay, back down to the road. What a unique home site or vacation spot or hunting camp a property like this would make. We're almost down to Bryant Creek. We're close. We're close. I'm trying to get a photo of that. That is really cool. Although if we keep getting sidetracked, we'll never get down to the creek. Or we'll run out of space on the phone again. I don't know if there are any other videos that we can delete to create more space. Okay, so back to the road. That's how we discovered that little spring. We just saw it crossing the road. I'm gonna try to hustle here before we run out of storage space again on the phone. Okay, we are on Map Right. Toward the northeast side of Track 15 on the old county road. Some property on the left, of course. Now things are really starting to level off here. We're at the northeast side of Tract 15 and we'll be coming up on Bryant Creek in just a couple hundred feet. I'm confused. I think we have to go to the, yeah, that's a newer trail to the right. And then the actual road cuts to the left here. So down here on the north part of the property, I can see some big walnut trees and oak trees. Big, tall, straight timber down here. And there is Bryant Creek. We've arrived. It's kind of a typical creek crossing on some of the rural roads and creeks in the Ozarks. You just drive across. And if we've had a ton of rain and the water's high, then you don't drive across. And that's that. And the county road crosses, goes all the way up, meets up with Highway O and then Highway 60. And you actually cross through part of the Cedar Gap Conservation Area. That's how we'll leave today, actually. I won't video that, but that's how we'll leave. Gorgeous down here.